Hello again, and welcome back to the Flyin Style podcast. I am your host, Matthew Mitchell, here with my co-host, Stephen Masley.
What's up, guys?
And it is obviously a huge week in Philadelphia. We got the Phillies starting in their World Series campaign tomorrow. Road to the Trophy begins. Eagles on Sunday and Thursday. It is a huge week for Philly sports. We're going to have the Sixers playing, the Flyers playing. Philly fans are just ecstatic right now.
Dude, the city of Philadelphia is like no better vibes in the city right now. I know the Sixers haven't been off to the best start. However,
Nobody cares. Nobody even
cares. I don't
Nobody
care.
cares.
I can't care that much right now. Like we have to get four more games we win the World Series. And the Eagles are 6-0 going into the Sunday. And the funniest part is, did you see the schedule for the Phillies?
Oh, it's awesome. The only 2 days that the World Series aren't playing are the Eagles. It's amazing.
How crazy is it on Thursday night if somehow it goes to game 6, because we're going to sweep them, I hope. Probably not. But if it goes to game 6, we play in Houston on that Thursday. The Eagles do. That's just
weird. That is crazy. I didn't know that.
Weird thing in the world where the stars are aligning and
the stars are aligning.
It's crazy.
Hey, stars are aligning. It sounds like might be Philly's year.
It's a team of destiny, Matt.
Let's
not get ahead of ourselves. Podcast, but we'd love it. Oh,
but yeah, man, I really can't remember a time that Philly was this excited about sports. Obviously we won our first Super Bowl, but like just in a totality of Philly sports, this is like the most fun I've had in a span of 2 weeks, like ever.
It's amazing, dude. I can't get enough of it. I eat it up. I love it. I love it. I can't wait for tomorrow.
But anyway, we're back from the bye week, and the Eagles are back to football, which is also exciting. And we're going to be playing the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday. So, what are your thoughts about this game? What are your takeaways? What do you want to see? What do you think about the Steelers? Yada yada.
So, first of all, Kenny Pickett, it just throws straight interceptions. He's been throwing the ball away like against the Miami game. They had a chance to win that game too. However, he's been not looking too great. It went with his decisions when he does throw to the other team. I want to see us have disguises in the secondary, and I want to see us get to him, and I want to see more like blitzes onto him because he can't handle pressure. And Najee, how he's been this year has not been anything as like last year. He's been not good at all, and I don't think this team has a chance of beating us. And I know they're just playing with they have all the money right now. They're just playing with free money. They don't care. They're not looking for a playoff spot, I don't think. But
no, they're not.
I'm hype. I'm hype on this week, and I want to see. Main thing I do want to see, I want to see this defense be super dominant this week. I want to go into the Texans game just going, look at our defense. You're just like literally flexing on them. I want to see us just get sacks. I want to see us get picks, and I want to see us be like the best defense in the league.
Yeah, no, I agree. And honestly, I think this whole Najee thing it's been really weird to watch this year, but I still think that he's the best player on their team. I just think that with the quarterbacks they have, they don't really have the ability or they have the receivers kind of. I mean, George Pickens is a dog. Deontay Johnson is good. Chase Claypool, you think they can get downfield, but with the quarterbacks they've got right now, they're not getting the ball downfield, and teams are stacking the box against Najee Harris and keeping him out of the game and letting Kenny Pickett, try to beat you. And the way he's looking right now, he's got 2 touchdowns and 7 picks. He's not beating you if you make him beat you. So, like you said, you want us to dominate. I think the best way to dominate, and I've said this a million times with these young quarterbacks, blitz, blitz, blitz. It's super simple. Keep him under pressure, keep him worried, keep him anxious, and he's gonna throw picks. He's thrown 7 picks in 4 games. I mean,
4 games.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young quarterback who was not ready to come into the league yet. He only got this opportunity because they were playing with Mitch Trubisky, who cannot take you anywhere. So
yeah,
they're trying to give Kenny Pickett. They're not worried about him throwing picks. They're not worried about him messing up. They just want him to have the experience. So use that against them. Like, get after the guy.
Please, give him a. He just show him like this is the NFL. I just want to see us dominate this team because I know we can, And I know we could offensively, but if we want to even flip sides, their defense is actually not that bad.
And I think this is a perfect time to bring it up. Speaking of pass rush, we should bring up our newest addition.
Oh my God. I'm so happy.
Obviously, yesterday, if you haven't heard yet, the Eagles traded for Bears D end Robert Quinn and sent them a 4th-round pick for him. And Howie's a genius for this one, because if there was anywhere on the team that needed help, it was the pass rush. We got a guy that, last year had 18.5 sacks, and he's a Pro Bowler. And on top of it all, we're not even paying off his contract.
Dude, I can't believe the Bears are taking. I don't know what they're trying to do, if they're just trying to be nice to us, or how Howie finagles these deals. But $7.1 million, they're taking off the top of his contract. We don't have to pay. I don't know how much he's gonna pay this year, but
for them, it makes sense because they're paying him this year, and that's a blow they're gonna have to take. But now they're not gonna have the cap hit from him. And on top of that, they're going to have more picks for the future. They're already very much in rebuild mode. So it makes sense for them to get, Robert Quinn is, how old is he? Is he 32?
Let me look up his age. He's 32, yeah.
So he's a little long in the tooth. He's a veteran. I'm super excited to have him. But for a team in a situation like the Bears, they don't need a guy like that.
So I know you sent me this earlier, which is just a crazy stat. Robert Quinn has faced 58 double team this season. And put in that perspective, Nick Bosa and Micah Parsons has faced 40-ish each. That's insane. This man is like a sack machine, and he can't get doubled on our team, because if he does, then anyone else on our D-line is getting sacks.
Exactly. People are probably, there are probably some fans that aren't looking into it deep enough and think he only has 1 sack this year. That's not good. Why would we want him? No, he's eaten up one of the most double teams in the league, and on a D line like ours, if they're going to double team him every play, that means that Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, somebody's not getting blocked.
It's fantastic.
Our D line is looking incredible, and I couldn't be happier, because I've said for a long time, games won and lost on the line of scrimmage.
Definitely is. And I hope Gannon's able to use that to his advantage. I hope he doesn't just rush 4. I'm hoping he does. Still, I'm hoping that just doesn't affect everything. But if we can blitz off that and do stunts off that, that would just come on. Our secondary might be the best in the league. We might have the 2 best corners. We had the best. I think we had the best corner duo in the league. But
I agree. I think most people would. The only other corner duo I'd say could compete with us is Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters, but I still think that we're better than they are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey.
Which is just another reason to send the blitzes. Leave them in man coverage. Nobody's, I don't see anyone beating them yet. So until it doesn't work, don't fix it.
100%. And then, do you want to flip the offensive side of the ball?
Let's do it.
Dude, this Pittsburgh defense on paper isn't too bad. Obviously, they're missing TJ Watt, which is he might be the best defensive player in the NFL. So that's a huge loss for them. They obviously they took a step back on defense, but they're still Miles Jack. I mentioned Devin Bush earlier in our conversation pre-recording. Mika Fitzpatrick, Cameron Hayward, and the rest of the guys are just. I don't think anyone else stands out to me super crazy special, but they have been stepping up in games. They haven't been awful. Letting up.
Listen, the Steelers have never been a bad team. As long as I've been alive, this is the first time I've seen them in a rebuild situation in the first place in my 22 years of living, let alone them being a bad team. They're very well coached. Mike Tomlin is a very good coach. They know how to do things the right way. They're never going to get it's rare that you're going to see them just get blown the heck out. It's just rare. They play good games. They play hard, even when they don't have the talent to do so. This year they do not have the talent they've had in previous years, but they're sticking in games. They're kind of like the Lions of last year, where they're losing these games, but they're in all of them.
Yeah.
So this is not like a go to sleep and it's a W. No, I mean I obviously no game is, but I don't want anyone thinking that. But this one especially is one that's this is a bit of a trap game, honestly.
No,
granted we're coming off the bye. where, we have time to prepare for them. I think that this should be an easy win. Like, I know I was just saying that, like, no win's a blowout. It should still be an easy win. But we still got to do the right things. Like, you cannot sleep against these guys. They will make you regret it.
I 100% agree. And I know Tampa Bay hasn't been the best example, but they beat them like at home. Like that's a quality. When they beat the Bengals early in the season, they had a 3-point game with New England. They had a 4-point game with the Jets. People think the Jets are great. They got blown out by the Bills, and they only let up 16 points to that Miami offense. Like they're not god
They're not
awful.
a bad team.
I'm not saying they're
well, they are a bad team, but they're not a.
Yeah,
they're not a. Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the record won't show it, but they aren't a bad team. Like as long as at the end of the day, like you just said, if Tomlin's there, like look at the Giants right now. Like they have basically a similar roster last year. Maybe some guys have stepped up. Obviously, they have Kayvon Thibodeau and stuff, but Duval has been bringing a culture there that's coaching matters. Like as much as like it doesn't matter. Like look at Bill Belichick, for example. Like coaching matters. Like it always does, always will. But
yeah, man. I mean, and then on top of that, we're gonna have to see the Eagles, keep the pressure on them. Obviously, we've talked about it every single week that we still have yet to see them go 4 quarters.
Yes.
This is a week where you have to make that. Obviously, we're going to say it every week until they do it, but this is a good week to make it happen. You're playing a bad team with a banged up defense, a rookie quarterback who throws a lot of picks, dominate. Oh, I'm sorry. I just got mixed up. I started talking about defense and offense. My apologies.
Okay, it's all right.
No, we have to go right after them. Like just like you said, keep the pressure on them on defense, keep the pressure on them on offense. I have always stood by that we should be using Miles Sanders more. Every time he gets over 15 carries, he ends the game with 80 to 150 yards and a touchdown. I still stand by that. And we talked about it last week also, and this is a good week to make it happen. We need to see a deep ball or two this game.
I need to see AJ Brown get a 6-yard touchdown. I need to see it happen. I want to see it happen. I want to take shots against this team. If we can get Miko,
that's what I'm saying. We need to keep pressure on them on both sides.
I'm scared of Mika, but I just want to see just run Devonta and freaking AJ on not same side. Just cross his face, and then the other guy will go up and get
it. Run crossers. Just run occasional crossers, run your RPOs, run play actions, run the ball. You can run your RPOs, and obviously me saying they shouldn't run it isn't going to stop them from running it. But obviously, as much as I hate on the RPO and I get frustrated with it, we still have not lost games. So exactly. In their mind, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I do stand by that. But I don't think that it's a successful brand of football. I'd really prefer to see running the ball, slant routes, crossing routes, play action passes to set up that deep route, because we haven't thrown like we said, we haven't thrown the ball deep since week 2 to Watkins, or not Watkins.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah. So
yeah, you're good.
Yeah. We haven't thrown the ball deep since then. Why the heck would any team be playing their safeties back on us? We don't throw the ball deep.
Yeah.
So we're running these short dink and dunk passes, and they're stacking the box on us. Not full stack, run stack, but they've got their players set up to we're creating a one-dimensional offense doing that. Sorry, I'm having trouble spitting it out, but
no, you're good. You're good. But my perspective is, I think that a team like the Steelers, that it is well coached. I think that they're going to be, if we do just have that RPO type offense, or where you have your assignment as if you're basically putting Miles Jack in a position to make a mistake, or putting one of their other linebackers in to make a mistake. Yes, it will work. But if you're a disciplined team and a well-coached team, you just need to challenge them. Like you said, just throw one-on-one balls, throw it up to AJ Brown, throw slants. Obviously we will incorporate our offense, because our offense, we're never going to stop it, like you mentioned. But this is a way more talented team, and I just need to see us use our talent to the full potential. Second quarter team, yes, I love the second quarter. Do that the whole game. Can we just do that the whole game? It's not a problem. It's not
I
hard.
know. And on top of that, we talk about throwing these deep balls, and we've got guys like Devontae Smith and AJ Brown that can get up there, and regardless of if they catch it, I feel like I would be pretty confident that they can at least break it up if it's a bad throw. I'd like to just see us taking the shot, like whether it works or not. Even if it doesn't work, it puts in their mind that, okay, they might go deep. Let's maybe take a step back just in case. Then it gives Miles Sanders an extra step of room, an extra yard, or an extra 2 yards. And then all of a sudden, they start stacking the box. You go back over again. I feel like it's like, it's pretty, I would like to say it's common sense, but common sense is not all that common. So I feel like the coaches outcoach themselves sometimes. And they're obviously getting a lot of credit because we're 6-0, and they should. But I feel like they're not getting enough criticism for their lack of, adjustments, changing the game plan and using the game plan like to beat teams. Like our game plan is not beating teams. Our talent is beating teams.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of games that we've played so far could have been a lot bigger leads if we were game planned the right way.
I agree with that. And even to that point, like it'll just open up the field even for like Goddard, whether we like he's a top 10 tight end in this league. Maybe he can argue top 5. He's been playing great, and there's big chunk plays, and it'll like passing these deep balls will bring the safeties back, bring the linebackers back, and it leaves the middle of the field wide open at times. If you do like it makes everything just better. And if you spread the field, there's no stopping us. And I just need to see it happen. And that's it.
The one thing that I would like to see the Eagles do that I have not seen them do yet is use their playbook to set up plays. Use one play to set up another. I have not seen us do this in any aspect of the game so far. Like we don't use the blitz to set up, a deep coverage on third down, or something like that. We don't use the middle of the field to set up like a short run. We don't use play actions to set up a deep play. It just feels like we're kind of like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like there's any rhyme or reason to our game plan. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like we're just doing like, I don't even know how to put it exactly, but we're not using the playbook to set up our game plan.
Well, I seen spots of it. Like, I just keep referring to the second quarter, but I've seen us do it where we catch them off guard with a long run by Miles Sanders. Like if we're just running out of field pass, and it's working, and then they drop back and we just run it and then set up, just keep running it until basically Miles doesn't get 8 yards, and then pass, tutty, bang, like Devonta Smith, like an Anza making that crazy catch. But the rest of my problem is the third quarter, and if they come back in the fourth, like we just stay stagnant, and like you said, those plays adding up, it's more of like establishing a base, like so we can use it the rest of the game. Even if we get a 3 touchdown lead in the first half, it establish that base in the second half and use it on a couple drives, and then you can still open it up. You can still open up that game even more because it's never over in the NFL, and you can never count a team out. Look at the Panthers; they beat the Bucs last week. Like it's the NFL.
That was shocking.
I knew
shocking. The Bucs were having a rough season, but that was a low of all lows.
You lose McCaffrey, and then then you're using an XFL quarterback in PJ Walker. He used to go to Temple, by the way, but it's like you're just like shocked by it. But it's also at the same time, it's the NFL. These guys are all very talented, whether we say a guy sucks or not, and you can't discredit them. And I hope the Eagles won't. I don't think we will. I think we're going to be able to explode this game. I think this is the game where we just establish that we are the best team in the NFL. And because I don't know why. And I even hear it like from Eagles fans. Oh, the Bills are the best team. Like, look at them. They beat the Chiefs. Like, yes, they're a very good team, but what have we done wrong other than, I know we've done things wrong, but we haven't lost yet. So like, I agree.
I mean, I feel like people don't give enough credit to a win as a win. Like nobody in the NFL is bad. I mean, we've mentioned this many times, but basically, I think when it comes down to fans, it just comes down to the fact that we have such an easy schedule. It's the same situation with the Giants. The fact that the Giants are 6-1. Giants have the easiest schedule, and we have the second easiest schedule. So it seems like we're not playing anybody worth a lick of anything. So everyone's like, "Yeah, you're winning. You're supposed to win." And it's like you could say that, but like a win is a win. We are the only undefeated team in the NFL. No one else has done that. Not a soul. So I don't know why anybody has anything to say about it. It's the same way that we don't understand. We're not 100% sure if the Giants are for real or not. They're 6-1. We should assume they absolutely are for real. But no one can confidently say. I feel like even Giants fans can't confidently say we're good. You know what I mean?
So my difference with the Giants and the Eagles is just our roster, straight up. Like it's just absolutely. Our talent exceeds them by like I don't want to say twofold, but it's I feel like almost every position. It's kind of crazy.
I actually completely agree.
You know what I mean? Like our roster, like that's what I mean. Like we keep going on these rants of like we want to like establish like 4 quarters of football. Our roster is so good, and that second quarter could be all the like people don't understand. Like if we do that, we can kill teams, we can murder them.
Well, you see, that's the thing that's holding us back with fans saying that we have a problem. You know, the Giants are playing to their ceiling, and they're 6-1.
Exactly.
So, but people are saying, you know, they're not 100% sure if they're actually good. We're playing at a low level with a really talented team and still winning games because we're playing bad teams. So everyone's saying, oh, you're playing these bad teams and you're still keeping it close. Are you guys really good? But like, yes, we are. We have one of the most talented rosters in the league. But we're making it hard for people to have confidence in us because we're keeping these games close. We're not playing full 4 quarters. But granted, I also don't think there's any teams in the NFL that scare me right now other than the Bills and the Chiefs, who we wouldn't see until the Super Bowl.
I can agree with that. I mean, teams will pick it up. Like, obviously, there's teams like I feel like. I mean, maybe I'm just going crazy. I think the Packers are like going to pick it up a little bit. I think the Rams will pick it up a little bit. The Niners.
I do not think the Packers are going to pick it up.
They might pick it up a little. I mean,
I don't. I really, really don't. They have no weapons. Nobody can catch the ball over there. Like I don't unless they pick up a receiver before the deadline, I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't even think they make the playoffs. Hot take, heard it here first.
That's. I mean, the Vikings are running with that division because they're winning games. And guess what their only loss is? Freaking hate people, dude. Oh, the Vikings aren't anything. They're 5-1. Like, come on. Like, don't discredit us. We beat them. Like, we murdered. Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, you give credit when it's like, oh, like, look at the Vikings. Like, they're 5-1. Like, obviously they're a good team. And they're like, oh, you played the Eagles. Well, yeah, I mean, that was Monday Night Football. Like,
people give credit
when it's convenient. I hate the national media and I hate ESPN.
People do whatever is most convenient for the time, like for the time frame that they're in.
No, and then one more thing, since we're on this tangent. So you guys are all like, oh, look at Cooper Rush. Oh, he's so good. He's going to replace Dak. And then it comes to us, and you're like, oh, you beat a backup quarterback. What? I just don't get it. I don't understand why no one gives us any credit for doing anything. Wait till Dak comes back. I hate Dallas Cowboys fans. This is why I hate them. They're like, oh, why did you give me it? I don't get it.
Hey, man. No one likes Philly, but we don't care.
I know. And as much as I hate it, I love the fact that like no one believes in us because it only like makes us better. Like,
well, you know, it actually keeps us pretty well grounded because as much as you know, when you get teams that are just undefeated, they start to get a big head and they start to get a little lackadaisical. With us, yeah, we're winning games, but everybody's counting us out still. So every week this team must feel like they have something to prove. If I were on that team, I know I would feel that way, and I would assume they do too. And you've heard Jalen Hurts' post-game speeches and, what the coaches have said and what the players have said, post-game, yada, yada. They're all saying we got work to do. We are nowhere near what we should be. And I think everyone can confidently say we agree. They have a lot more to give. Like they leave a lot on the plate. So we'll see. We're only 7 weeks into the season, going into week 8.
True.
We're not even technically halfway through the season yet. So things that I've said it since the beginning, and I still stick with it. Trends are not going to change exactly. We have a general idea now of how each team is this year. Like, that isn't going to change much. But what you may see is little improvements that'll help, like push one team over the top or below. Yeah, like you know what I mean. If we make these adjustments that we've talked about and play 4 quarters of football, people might start thinking, are the Bills better than the Eagles? Because I think if we do those things, we're much better than the Bills. I think that the Bills are a good team, but they've lost. And there have been a couple games that they've been in that were, close. I mean, other than the Chiefs game, obviously, that one's like, a battle of titans. But they've been close in some games, and, we can be better than this team. I do not think there's a team in the league that is more talented than we are. But I think that we leave, like I said, a lot on the table, and there's things that we're not doing right. If we fix those things might change. But we know for a fact at this point in the season that we are a good team.
Yes,
we are a very good team. That is not going to change. We're not just going to randomly fall off and start losing every game. That's not going to happen. We're a good team.
We are a good team. And to that other point of trend, I think that trends can change sometimes in the water, like based on the water. Like look at the Phillies. I mean, I know I'm bringing baseball into this, but momentum is a thing. And if some teams can catch fire and figure it out, I'm not saying it's going to happen. They're going to turn into Super Bowl champions.
No, that's definitely fair. I mean, you look at the Giants. The 2 years they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, they were 9-6 both those years.
Yeah, like it's
and barely scratched their way into it at the end of the year.
But all that matters is the win is the win, and we got to keep on chugging. And anyway, back to the Steelers. What is your prediction and how you see this game's going to go?
Well, I've said that I think that this should be a big game for us, and I think that we should be able to kill this team. It's a tough spot to be in because I like I said in the cast, I think the Steelers are a good team. They're well coached, but they're a really bad team at the same time. They're not that talented right now. So I really don't know with the score, but I think I'm going to go 31-17 Eagles, I think.
Okay. I like that. I think that for the first time in this year, we are going to start off the first half not winning by 3 touchdowns. And we're not going to kill them in the second quarter. I think it's going to come down to the second half of the game where we step it up because it is off a bye week, and I hope we just murder them completely. I think the final score will be a murder. However, I think the first half will be a little bit closer than we expect. I think we'll be up by a touchdown, maybe 10 points, which obviously is a 2-possession game or a touchdown game. I like that, but I don't think we'll play murder ball in the second quarter of this game. I think we're going to play murder ball in the third quarter. And I think we're going to run the score up, and I don't think they're going to be able to score on us. And I think our team is going to have 4 sacks minimum, 2 picks minimum, and we are going to win this game 37-10.
Solid. I like that.
And I don't know. I genuinely don't think we.
37 is an odd number, though.
I don't know. It just came into my head. It is kind of weird.
It's possible, but that's a weird one.
It's just a number that came to me.
We'll see.
All right, so let's go into our picks. We have to next episode. We will update our records. I've been trash, so I don't even want to look at my record. But we will go back to other videos and get our record straight. But it's getting close, and I might shave my head, so I got to start trying.
Yes, sir.
I've been
scary hours for Maz.
I've been doggy doo doo.
I've been making a comeback lately.
I've been doggy doo doo.
But anyway, let's get into the picks here. What are your picks for this week? Huh?
My picks this week, and the first one is a little bit of a weird thing. I mean, obviously the Commanders coming off a high of beating the Green Bay Packers. So I'm going to go with the Colts. I think -3. I'm going to go with Sam Ehlinger.
Sam Ehlinger. If you guys knew this guy, Stephen Masley, like I do, you would know that for some weird reason, he loves this guy, Sam Ehlinger.
Dude, he's good at Texas. Like, he doesn't – I don't see a problem with him. I don't think he's – I never, like, loved him, like, but I think he's good. I think he's, like – I think he's all right. I think he's all right.
Yeah, that's a toss-up game to me. I can't say it would go either way or the other.
I think Jonathan Taylor will finally step up and be good in that game.
I hope you're right.
My second pick is I'm going with the Raiders -1.5. The Saints haven't shown me anything good. I know the Raiders haven't been the best team, but they've been stepping it up, and I think they're finally getting on a sort of a roll. I mean, they lost by 1 to the Chiefs, and then they beat the Texans by 18. I think they're getting on a roll. I don't think the Saints are very good, and I want the Saints to lose anyway for our pick, so I'm taking them -1.5. For my dog of the week, I'm gonna go with, and this was a hard one. I didn't really like doing this. Kind of got a little sick to my stomach doing this.
Boy. Let's hear it.
You ready for this one, Matt? I don't know if you're ready for this one. I'm going with the Texans over the Titans, and I don't really have a
good spread.
I don't really have a great
money line or the spread.
Oh, we're taking the money line. Screw it.
Oh,
screw 2.5. Screw 2.5. Texans are winning straight up against this Titans team. Divisional game, and I don't think the Titans are like crazy good. I mean, if they can shut down Derrick Henry, that's a big ask.
That's a big ask.
Whatever. Screw it. I needed a dog. I needed the most disgusting dog I could find on the slate, and I found him. I don't know.
I don't hate it as much as you think I do, but I hate the money line pick. The spread would have been fine.
It's only 2.5.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So if I get it at 3, if I could buy a point, but we can't buy points here. But I'm not actually betting on that, but in real money times. But I'm betting for my hair, and the Texans, stupid 1-4 Texans, are gonna beat the Titans.
You see, unlike Mansley, I have full confidence in my picks. So I can confidently say that I think these are 3 winners. Now, to start my picks, I'm going with Thursday night football, and we're going to pick the Ravens underdogs +2 against the Bucks.
The dogs.
The Bucks obviously have had trouble. They just lost to the Panthers. You know, they've just been so out of sorts. It's just I don't really see them making the turnaround, and I think the Ravens are a good team, but they're a lot like the Eagles. It's whether they can play a whole game or not. But on to my next pick, I'm going to go with the Bengals -3.5 over the Browns. I think that Joe Burrow has been playing out of his mind lately, and I think that 3.5 is frankly a little too small of a line. And then for my third pick, and I just want to point out that I think this is a blasphemous line. I'm going to take the Jets.
Frauds.
And I'm taking the Jets money line because they're underdogs in this game. And oh man, I just don't get it. They're underdogs to the Patriots. The Patriots just got blown out by the Chicago Bears. The Jets are 5-2, and the Patriots are 3-4. And the Patriots are underdogs in an away. Patriots are favorites in an away game after losing by 25 points to the Bears.
You know what?
Give me a
my
break.
Favorite part's going to be is all of my picks could lose, but if the Patriots just win, I will come on the show happy during the pick segment.
Well, honestly, every time I've made a big deal of saying that a pick is an easy win, it's been a complete blowout in the opposite direction.
It's only when you do that, though. It's only when you do. Dude,
it's literally only when I've done that. So hopefully we make a big deal over this. Doesn't mean that the Jets are going to lose this game, but I got the Jets money line. I say lock it in. I think that's an easy one.
Nothing's easy in this world, especially not the World Series. We need 4 more wins, guys. Let's win on
4 wins
Friday, Saturday, and the Eagles on Sunday.
Yeah, man.
Have a weekend.
It's going to be a big, big week for Philly Eagles fans, Philly sports fans. It's man, I really can't explain how excited I am.
Wait, what's your prediction for the World Series? I need how many games the Phillies are going to win in, unless you think the Astros are going to win. Which in that case, I'll call you names.
Quite honestly, I think it's going to go 7.
7? Wow.
I do. I think the Astros are undefeated so far. They haven't lost in the playoffs. That's scary.
It's very scary.
Obviously, the Phillies are hot as can be, and they've got the hot hand. They've got the momentum right now. So I think that's going to win us a couple games. Especially, I'm having a hard time seeing anyone winning a game in Philadelphia right now. Obviously we haven't seen it happen yet, and it's just we're playing like the energy that we get in Philadelphia right now is so ridiculous. I've never seen a more drastic like energy differential like in my life as we're seeing right now in the Phillies games. So
amazing.
I'm saying Game 7. I think we're going to take it to them, and I think we're winning this series.
I'm going to say 6 only because I think we get one in Houston. And that is what I'm going to go with. If we don't split in Houston, I think it has to go 7 because
I agree.
I'm scared, but we need to get one in Houston.
That is scary.
Noel will be pitching first. He had a great outing last time. He almost had a perfect game, but it'll probably be bad this time. But let's see. So go Eagles, go Phillies.
Yes, sir. Got a lot of sports to watch. Keep up. But all right, this has been another episode. We got the Eagles Steelers this week, and then on Thursday we've got the Texans. So, keep track, keep up with us, and thank you for tuning in, and we will see you soon. Go Birds and go Phils.
Go Birds.